Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Darksedge Walker, and today we're going to be doing an Arcana Spotlight episode. I know, right? Hey, what took you so long, genius? I think it hasn't been that long, calm down. So, the Arcana we're going to be looking at today, like I said, we're kind of starting at basics and working our way out. And we're going to be looking at Perforating Jet. In case you didn't remember. So what Perforating Jet is, it's a low damage it's low damage, low knockback, but scores a lot of hits. Like, I think in total it's, let's see, so it's 2 hits there, or at least it looks like it's 2 hits. 1, 2, actually it'd be easier to do this outside, so let's put the rest of our run together. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see. Well, actually, no. I would rather start with something that's a little bit more... Let's actually start with this. But yeah, its base damage is 3 per hit. And I believe it goes in a pattern of 2, then 3, then it looks like it does 4. But with each activation having an additional hit after you get upgraded, like, there's quite a bit to be said about this particular Arcana and how exactly it works. But before we go too much further, let's set up the rest of our run. Like, we very much have a run that's going to be focused on critical hits and projectiles. So let's see if we can get ourselves a signature that will do much of the same. There we go. Not bad. But I think we can do better. As much as I like razor petals, let's see if I can do a little better. And that's kind of a high rank premier thing right there. But it plays very similarly to the Perforating Jet, which we're going to be talking about. Could also use Tracer Barrage, a personal favorite, or Dragon Arc. Yeah, I think I have to go with a favorite, just to make sure that I have something that I can fall back on. As for this one, it doesn't exactly have to be a projectile, but I think we're just gonna go full throw things at people mode today. There we go. And as far as there being any one particular place where I should or shouldn't start, honestly, I think I'm just gonna go for it. So, Perforating Jet is a projectile-based basic Arcana, scores 3 damage per hit, and each part of the combo does a little bit more. As you can see, the first activation does 2 hits, then the second activation does 3, then the third activation does 4. So I do kind of wonder if with the combo glove it would be 2, 3, 4, 5. It also does pierce enemies, so it is good for controlling space. The damage is very light though, so you're not necessarily going to get a ton of damage out of it by stacking damage ups. That's why I chose to start with the Awe Robe and the Chaos Visor, because you're better off trying to stack critical hit for this particular Arcana. Now, some sort of small damage wouldn't be a bad thing, because that would take base damage from 3 to 4, which would improve critical hit damage from 5 to 7. Okay, that's actually really good. So that puts our base critical hit chance up to 15, and critical hit damage bonus up to 37.5. Unfortunately, it's not affecting much. And I don't really want Fading Petals. I don't necessarily need to draw enemies closer to me. I screwed up. Like, not in such a way that it's super detrimental, but, you know, probably should have dodged that arrow. Here we go. What do you have for sale, good sir? Now, of course, I could have... you know what? Oh, well. I definitely see that Cartographer's Quill there. An early Cartographer's Quill is great. But generally not for the types of Arcana I'm running right now. So let's quick see if Iris has helpful things for sale. So, as one would expect, nothing here really flies out at me. As much as I like Glacial Getaway, it's not going to synergize well with this run, which is playing an awful lot of Keep Away. Stalwart Defenders might be nice. So I'm going to think about that, but I think for sure our top priority should be early game Cartographer's Quill. So you might be thinking to yourself, hey Dark Sage, it doesn't seem like Perforating Jet is very damaging. And you're right, it isn't. It's definitely meant to be almost more of a control method than anything else. And it definitely gets better once you can improve its base damage even just a little bit to really pump out those critical hits and get them doing a little bit more. It's got pretty decent range for a basic. It's not... I don't think it quite reaches the range of bouncing Blaze, but it's not bad either. Like, far from being poor in its actual active range. Plus, it inherently pierces enemies, so... Again, it actually does a lot. It just what it doesn't do is a lot of damage. And that is why what you really need to focus on is getting your critical hit stuff together when you're running this. But like I said, Perforating Jet is almost more so about control. Because as you can see there, it also interacts with enemy projectiles. Ooh, fairy. Hello, Naya. It even does rather light knockback as well, so it's hard to use this to kind of control enemies and push them away from you. But now we have the upgraded version, thank you, Iris. And yes, you can now see that it's now doing 3, then 4, then 5. So it's strictly number of hits that increases when you upgrade it. Oh yeah! So I will say that this does seem like a bit of an interesting change, because what Perforating Jet was before the update is it was just 333, and then you would upgrade it before 444. So whereas the update doesn't seem to have changed much, it's made it a bit more rewarding to carry forward with the combo. Unfortunately, that doesn't do much for you, because what it ends up being is the same number of overall hits. It's just making it more rewarding to carry on all the way through to the end of the combo. So it's more of a sideways step than it is an actual, like, full-on improvement. But more fairy. Well, you know that has to happen. I can't leave my Sylvan friends behind. They need me. Single bubble. That is all it took. Now, obviously, that's going to interact with Rudra's Pinwheel, so we might get a little bit more base damage, but I don't know how much more. Because remember, every little bit of base damage counts, because first of all, it'll be doing that extra push on critical hit, which is definitely something. But moreover, remember that this is a basic Arcana that really works well on critical hit factors, or on number of hits is what I was trying to get at, and then my brain said, "Yeah, keep talking about critical hits. We all like critical hits, just that chance to do extra damage for no reason." Now, as you can unfortunately see, Rudra's pinwheel didn't really do much for our damage output. And there's Razor Petals. Alright, well, I guess we're taking that too. Yeah, right now Rudra's pinwheel is kinda iffy. So its usefulness will be determined on whether or not we find any other wind arcana to work with it, or if we just end up giving it away for something else. There we go. I'm also wondering, it feels like I'm only getting half the sound through my headset. Is my cord not... I feel like something is wrong here. Not getting all the sound that I should be. Also, no, I'm not taking that. So I'm hoping that's not translating onto the video for you guys. Hopefully you're getting the full gamut of sounds and my headset isn't affecting things negatively. And it's not making it so that I can't play the game or anything, I'm just really confused as to why it seems like I'm not getting full sound. See, another thing about projectile basics is that even though the Earth Knights can set up a mirror shield, it doesn't block damage from basic Arcana, be it projectile or not, so that's oftentimes why you'll see me just plugging away at those guys at range with my basics, because their mirror shields don't do anything to stop basic Arcana damage. There we go. I didn't see Crimson Clover there, so what exactly are you doing here, Nox? So hopefully you're understanding kind of what Perforating Jet is all about. It's one of those Arcana that doesn't seem great at first. It's got a few things going for it. Ultimately, I'd still say that it's definitely not the best Wind Arcana, that's for sure. Well, we're definitely going to take that, because that's going to give us a third Razor Petal to work with. See, that's kind of what Perforating Jet is all about. It's very good at control because it can pierce through enemies. And hopefully what I'm showing you is enough to make that point, you know, it's enough to drive it home. There we go. Excellent. Despite how quiet I am having a lot of fun with this. See what I mean there? It just... like, he was even able to block my signature, but he wasn't able to do anything about the Perforating Jet. I set up my signature anyway, mostly because I needed a little bit more crowd. I don't see anything else there that I want. I don't know. I know that the flashy boots can really be useful, but I don't know. I'm not sure it's for me. Here we go. So, some of the things that I don't like about Perforating Jet, because, I mean, gotta get into that sort of stuff, is the way that the Perforating Jet shots spread out. It can sometimes, and you're going to notice one of the words that I tend to use a lot, sometimes can make the Arcana really inconsistent. Because it's not always just scoring, like, in this case, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes those hits are off, and it's only doing, like, you know, 2, 3, 4. God, I hate these guys. Like, I just kind of hate this room in general. And there's the boots again. So it's because of that kind of inconsistency that I feel like Perforating Jet is not quite as good as it could be. But it's also a matter of, you know, how best do they get that to happen? Because if they just overlay the shots in just one line, it would become more consistent, but then it would have slightly less control. By doing things the way that they're doing it now, you can easily see how many shots you're firing off, and and it has more control at the expense of being less consistent. So, kind of have to pick your poison a little bit on that one. Alright, I guess, now that I'm seeing Wind Flurry, it would be kind of like using Wind Flurry. I guess in some respects. You know, if it were like how I had said, where instead of the shots... if instead of the shots being kind of rolled out side by side, they were just all in one straight line. Now, having the shots laid out side by side does give Perforating Jet a bit of its own personality. Because if it was just, you know, Wind Flurry but worse, but basic, it just can be like, oh, okay, it's just kind of like the underworld. That isn't necessarily what we want. We want our spells to have distinction and personality. Do I have any cursed relics? So far, none of the cursed relics have really, you know, done much for me. Ooh, presents. Now, I don't really need Pathfinder's map, but I might as well take it. But that's one of those things that can easily be sacrificed for something else, in my opinion. I'm not doing a speed run. Okay, so even though... Okay, hold on. I actually kind of just don't want that. I am going to take the Bladed Buckler. I am also going to take the Claws of Tomo because it's going to improve critical hit chance on your basic. And as I had stated, that's probably one of the most important things you can have when you're running Perforating Jet is just more critical hit chances. And despite what I said earlier, I think I am going to take the boots. Sweet, I'm the Teleport King. But yeah, that hit to my movement speed is definitely noticeable. Alright, grab that. Go over and give that to Nocturne. He may very well give us 2 great Arcana. Like Explodey Pants. And Chest Knights. Sadly, that doesn't count as a projectile, so it doesn't get the enhanced critical hit, but still good. Like, I have very few complaints about Erupting Cannonade. And once again, it's just an excuse to use the word cannonade. I mean, how cool is that? Trudge, my friend, trudge! No Flame Cross. Alright, we're coming up on a stage where that Erupting Cannonade is going to be real useful. So now we are unfortunately in an area where Perforating Jet will be less effective. But wasn't it nice when it was more effective? Like, do you remember those times so long ago? Good times. And for what it's worth, when you're using Nog's flashy boots, like you don't have to rapidly hit the dash button. You can just hold it down and you'll just teleport like a madman. Now, even though we're doing less damage than normal, keep in mind we still have range and multiple hits. So we've still got things going for us. Okay, well I see no reason not to take Singing Bowl. And because our damage is not being that greatly affected by that, just drop that. And I'll probably end up grabbing the Sleepy Thunderstone too, especially since I don't need to. Oh, what do we have here? Heartrender's Amulet, Stanza of Flame, so that's not good. And it would be useful, but not useful enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I have to have that in my inventory. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot there. It's interesting to see all of the vendors in one place, though. Owie. I should have reacted to that differently. Oh, you think you're cool, do you? I'll show you cool. Wearing sunglasses indoors, that's cool. If not a little stupid. Alright, so because we're working with the knapsack, let's make sure that we go get the rest of the map cleared. So the obvious problem that you're seeing right now is that positioning is difficult. Like this is one of those setups where it would really be nice to just have, you know, full range Arcanas. Because now we're more or less relying on our dash Arcana to get places. And granted, it's getting us places quickly, but it's also making it more difficult to reposition. course, when you're using Perforating Jet, positioning is kind of important. Otherwise, you just have all sorts of silly little problems that, you know, like missing all of your attacks. You know, problems that could have been avoided. So I'm kind of an advocate for, you know, not taking Nog's flashy boots, but I definitely wanted to experience that high caliber teleport action at least just once. Because I will definitely admit, when it comes to speed running, this is definitely what you want. I should also like to point out that because of the number of hits that this particular Arcana scores, the Sidewinder's badge would take this Arcana from being okay to nearly overpowered. So keep that in mind. There's a reason why I didn't take the Sidewinder's badge, and that's because I wanted to show off this Arcana just as it is. But believe me when I say that Sidewinder's badge would make this thing just... I do wonder. Yep, that made a difference. Oh yeah. Oops. Well, it does get us up to full sprint faster, which it's not a huge difference, but it does make it a little easier to reposition, while allowing us the extreme speed and ability to drop ourselves into a hole that Nog's flashy boots gives us. Okay, what? Wait, why did I just slide off the edge there? I'm starting to wonder if I haven't made a horrible mistake. Owie. I thought that was going to hit him. Aw, man. Oh, the disappointment is real. So overall, how would I rate Perforating Jet? In my opinion, this is... Hey, don't get me wrong, they definitely made it better with the Phantom update. In my opinion, though, still not much more than like a C or a B+. It's far from like being one of the worst basics, but I would say that the inconsistency of how the shots are bundled together does kind of drag it down for me. There we go. I've got to get ready before I go too much further. Also, I just noticed how low my health is. That's scary. Why didn't one of you tell me? Nobody told me my ass is so big. Okay. Though right now, I think the real question is, hey, how are those boots treating you? Not so great. It's actually more difficult for me to control my movements right now, so... And yeah, I can make it so the enemies really have to run to keep up with me. Or, you know, just skip all the fighting. Screw it all. Oh. Okay, so you can't actually do that. Thought I was gonna be clever. It's like, oh, let's just jump over the triggers and I won't have to fight anything. Yeah, it doesn't work. Alright, so that gives me an idea of, you know, maybe I don't always, maybe I shouldn't be taking dog boots all that much. Okay, so I'm not talking very much right now, and that's for multiple reasons, actually. One of them being kind of personal, the other one being I have to really focus on my movement while I'm using the boots, because otherwise I'm going to end up... completely overdoing it on my dodges and putting myself into a bad position. See what I mean by the inconsistency of the Perforating Jet there? Like, there was actually really no reason why I should have had trouble there. I just did because the Perforating Jet didn't hit consistently. And the light damage also creates light stun. I don't know. I had said earlier that it probably wasn't one of the worst basics, but there's a reason why I don't take it very often. And making it so that the inconsistency comes earlier on in the use of the Arcana. Oops, I overshot. It doesn't really do it any favors. So we're almost done with the wind basics, and some of you may already know my opinion on this, but pardon me. Definitely saved one of the better ones for last. In my opinion, not only one of the best wind basics, but one of the best basics in general. So next time I do an Arcana Spotlight, we're going to be coming in on Air Spinner. It'll help us forget all about Perforating Jet. How about that? So, thank you guys very much for watching. I know I've been a little quiet this episode. I'll divulge more later as I feel more comfortable talking about it. Let's just say that there were a couple of things in my life that took a downturn, and I'm just not super comfortable diving into it right now. So, all that having been said, I do appreciate your continued support, and I hope you guys will continue to support. Drop me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit up my social medias as well as the Wizard of Metal poll, which will be running an extra day since I posted it up late. And I will catch you guys in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.